Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome to my video class again. Dear students, today I am going to start with the differences between essay and short story. Dear students, essay and short story are two different sections in English literature. But somebody may think that these two are same. No, dear students, there are some differences between these two terms. So dear students, today I will try my level best to show you the differences between essay and short story. Dear students, I have already discussed the kinds of essays, the structure of essays, but I have not discussed short story. Dear students, before starting with short story, I would like to state or I would like to discuss the differences between essay and short story. Dear students, while writing an essay, you have to keep in mind some points that are different from short story. So, dear students, we are familiar with short story from our high school level. Now, we will know details about short story and essay. So, dear students, look at the whiteboard. There is a point essay versus short story. Essay versus short story. Dear students, here I will show essay and short story how they differ. So, dear students, to start with the differences between essay and short story, first comes the point of an essay discusses and argues something. Essay presents some arguments. Essay discusses something. But a short story is a set of events or experiences. A short story is a set of events or experiences. Then students, events. Here, a narrator narrates the events or his experiences. Here, nothing is argued or nothing is described elaborately. But in an essay, a thing or a point is discussed with the form of arguments. So, dear students, while an essay argues something, a short story is a set of events or experiences in comparison with essay. Now comes the point of an essay is non-fiction. What is non-fiction? A non-fiction is such a piece where false imagination or thinking, a great thinking or false imagination, the sign of imagination is not vital at all. It is almost actually argumentative or there are some ideas, some arguments in the form of some arguments. In essay, there is no false imagination. It is almost practical and it is analytical, logical, and it takes the form of arguments and discusses something elaborately. But a short story is mainly fiction. Is mainly fiction. Here, a writer may take the help of fiction or may apply his imagination, utilize or may create something new to actually delight the reader. So, dear students, while essay is non-fiction, a short story is mainly fiction then. So dear students, we have to keep in mind that an essay is non-fiction and a short story is mainly fiction. So dear students, look at the board. Essay, a essay thesis, a essay has a thesis statement. A thesis statement. A essay actually will give or must give a thesis statement that tells about the essay main thing of the essay. Almost there in an essay there may have or must have or should have a thesis statement. Here the writer of an essay will present a thesis statement. But in a short story, there is no thesis statement. A short story does not require thesis statement. A thesis statement is always present in an essay, but there is no thesis statement in a short story. A short story will take the form of an actually event or some events or experiences. Dear students, now comes the point of completeness. Completeness is a actually key point for an essay because an essay cannot be incompleted. An essay always be completed. There is always the sign of completeness. If we go through an essay, we must actually get the point of completeness in an essay after reading the essay. If there is no completeness, that cannot be an essay. But dear students, in our high school level, we have learned one thing, that a short story is always incomplete. The foremost characteristic of a short story is that it is incomplete. So dear students, while an essay gives the sign of completeness, a short story is incompleteness piece of writing. So dear student, essay shows completeness, short story shows incompleteness. While an essay is the actually is the sign of completeness, in these cases short story will give you some actually events that are incomplete. The ultimate result is not known to you. You don't know how this actually a short story finishes suddenly. Abrupt ending. There is abrupt ending. No completeness. So dear student, essay is essay requires completeness. Short story does not require completeness. Now comes the point of academic. An essay is always academic.